Quick disclaimer, these are my personal opinions regarding the FFX of a Heavyweight Savage tier. I've been playing this game since the end of Stormblood, which means I have thousands of hours rating in this game at this point, so of course my opinions will be skewed. This isn't meant to be an attack, I'm simply going to look at the mechanics and compare them to previous floors. Specifically, I chose the Anabasios tier because it was also the final tier of the Pandemonium raid series. I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so welcome back. We're going to do the door bosses now, the comparison video of, I guess, the Lindwurm versus Athena. I'm going to start playing it here, and I think this is probably the one I feel most strongly about. And the reason why is because the Lindwurm kind of sucks. Let me not assume too much, though, before I watch. But I'm just going to give my initial impression is that I think Athena is probably like miles above this fight. Part of the reason is this first mechanic he does. It's not that different from Athena, to be fair, but it's just because this one is so slow. I mean, look at this. Like, what were they thinking, dude? Like, he just spawns orbs for like 10 seconds and then resolves over like 5 seconds or something. Like, what is this mechanic? Who designed this? The other thing about this fight is we're going to see it pretty quickly here is kind of the only mechanic in this fight is you have to spread in some variation. So we have these tentacles that come out of us and are fixed, so I have to point mine right regarding the outside of the arena. This cleave is random and we do some baits and then we spread. Or well, the DPS have a spread here, the supports have to stack, but also aim their cleave. Then he throws some meat on the arena, and we have to just dodge. The tanks actually stack their busters there, which is, again, like, it's just weird. I think they're supposed to spread in 2 spots, but our tanks just stacked in the big spot. So, like, he's kind of done nothing by this point. Okay, so this is the big mechanic of the fight, Cruel Coil. My group, credit to Shinda, he made like the super easy strat where the betas basically just do nothing and the alphas also kind of just do nothing. So obviously alphas take the towers that the boss spawned, and betas take the other betas towers. So we just line the betas up along his first exit, and then the alphas resolve the tether, the betas just swap spots. I'm not going to explain the mechanic here, I'm just going to like sort of give like a very basic explanation of how it works. And it looks silly, honestly, when you show it this way. This strat makes the mechanic look quite silly. Because there's just no one inside for so long, and he's just spinning around. It's very weirdly designed that we're even allowed to do this. But, whatever. Some people like that this has multiple solutions. I mean, I'm like, whatever. I don't really care. I just think it feels odd. So now his next mechanic here, we get a fixed tentacle that spawns a tower. So I see that mine's shooting left. We decided to shoot our towers clockwise. This can be cardinals or intercardinals. This one's cardinals, so I just stay here and shoot mine across the arena. You do have to flip your orientation if it's this pattern for the north and south people, which is interesting a little bit. These adds also spawn relatives, so if it was corners, they would spawn between 1 and 2 instead. So they do a buster, and then we do spreads. Swap with the tank so we can hit the spreads. And then he does this Pantocrator type movement again in a second here after the raid wide. And again, you can already kind of see like why I'm not very happy with this fight, because he's not really done much outside of Cruel Coil. And he's already repeating this Pantocrator type movement. But at least the DPS here get a debuff. That means they want to take the cleave. And everyone has to spread, regardless of what side you're on. And then we go straight into this tether mechanic, where we have to spread into our safe spots. We have to spread while we break the tether, though. So it is fast-paced, I suppose, but these types of mechanics are just like, when you're at this level, I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but like I've played the game a shit ton, right? So like obviously I should be good. These types of mechanics like don't require much thought, and it just feels a little bland. Like making things faster is not necessarily better. And then he just does this orb mechanic again with zero variation. It is very strange. Maybe Athena does this too with her wings, but this mechanic just feels like very like they just threw it in there. Like it just feels weird. This is, again, the reoccurring theme of, like, they just tossed mechanics in randomly. I kind of just watched through the whole fight here, I guess, because there really wasn't many mechanics. And we're just going into soft enrage here. I guess Athena doesn't really have a soft enrage, though, but, like, is this even good? So we show that the DPS gets spread here, which means they have to go to the larger safe spot. They spread in the safe spot, and he spawns some arms at the same time, so as long as someone was watching that, you're good. This version is the knockback variation, where he has the hands. Another thing here is that this variation, the knockback variation, is a lot harder than the dragon heads, that we may or may not see here. But he just repeats this 3 times. I believe it can be any combination of the spread and stacks. I think we get it probably 3 times in this first initial kill, which is kind of crazy. So he spawned dragon heads this time, and the reason why I'd say the other variation are harder is just because knockback is harder to resolve than this. This one you literally just step back and forth. The other one is like you kind of have to put some effort into where you get knocked back. So harder to keep uptime. So then here's the third one. I mean, he literally just does the same thing. So this one's a knockback again. That's literally it. Like, and then we have to get him to 0.1. I mean, yeah, I kind of just watched the whole thing there, but it's because he didn't really do anything. There's like really not much to talk about there, if we're being honest. Quite a disappointing door boss. But you know, let's see how I feel when I watch Athena back to back, right? Like, let's see. Maybe my opinion will change. So we have Paradigma. This is the first variation where she just spawns some ads and says, you guys need to be spread out in light parties here relative to the ads. And then she has this wing mechanic at the same time. It's kind of, this is sort of the equivalent of the orbs. That one was bottom to top, so it means what? I don't remember, honestly. There's just, it can be bottom to top or top to bottom, which changes the order or something. I don't remember. I actually do not remember. So we have Paradigma 2. It is weird, it's the same cast, like, I'll be honest. It is weird. But this is a different variation of the mech. So 4 people get tethered here and 4 other people get debuffs. You basically need to drop your color tower for the person on the outside. So I drop a dark tower for the person behind me, because they're light and they can take it, and then these guys shoot lasers at the end of the mech. Already, I'm thinking this fight is just miles above the other guy, because like so much more things are happening. You have to put way more thought into that mechanic than the orbs. Although again, it's not supposed to be equivalent. I guess like Cruel Coil. But okay, here's the thing. You have to compare the complexity of Cruel Coil to basically every mechanic in Athena, because Cruel Coil is the only thing he really does besides spread. This is like the equivalent of spread, is the super chain theory. And this is like not even close, right? Like it's not even close. He spawns 2 of these. We have to see which one we have to go to, and then look how fast it is. Boom, it's spread and out, and then we have to go to the next one pretty quickly, and then we also have this mechanic with a laser. If we're in the wrong parties here, we can't flip our elements and resolve the mechanic at the end. And then we have, what, spread into out. or in and then out, and then we have the spread into towers. We got lucky here because the DPS died. If it was anyone else, we wouldn't have been able to survive. And then she did the wings right away. She showed it. I don't remember how the wings work. Like, I'm just being honest. And then she has this buster where a party is in, Apo, tanks are out. She has another variation where the party is out and tanks are in. I don't remember what it's called. Maybe we'll see it later. Oh man, this store boss is way better, man. Like, do I even need to explain why it's better? Like, look at all the things she's doing. Oh my god. Like, I'm sorry, but dude, the Lindwurm is so bad. Fortunately, I do think Phase 2 is like quite redeeming because I don't think Palace Athena is very good. So there is some light at the end of the tunnel here. That, oh my god, this mechanic is just insane compared to Cruel Coil now. Like, oh my god. You have to be very precise, make very fast decision making. The DPS have a much easier job than the supports here. Supports have to go to the correct place to drop their towers, and then do this, and then the other people that are not taking the towers bait some ads. Yeah, that mechanic is very good. I almost like don't even want to continue watching because like I've seen enough to decide that this fight is like miles above. Okay, and then we have this ads phase, which is downtime. You know, to be fair, this is downtime, which is, you know, you can remember the order of the clones, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And then we have limit cuts. I mean, this mechanic by itself is way harder than Cruel Coil. It's like not even close. I'm sorry, but it is not even close. You have to like bait at the correct time proximities, and then you have to make sure you're edging these puddles. It's not that fast. Like, it's not the best mechanic ever, but I'm just saying. Those guys that are baiting the inside have like a pretty difficult job, and everyone has to do it. That is the key thing here. Everyone has to do it. Obviously, the first people to bait the guy that's in the middle has the easiest job by far, but still, everyone has to do it. That is the big difference between Cruel Coil and this fight. Everyone has to do it. A reminder, by the way, that there's more. There's still more. We have Super Chain Theory 2A and 2B. These mechanics are not as complicated, but like, look at this. We have to check the wing, check the shapes, and do this pairs at the same time. So there's a pairs coming from the bottom there. We do this pairs, and then we have to go in or out from her while doing the wing, and then we go to the other one. We could have stayed, but this time we had to swap over, and then we do a dynamo or a protean around, and then she's a buster right away. And then there's one final mechanic here. Super Chain Theory 2B. And I think I'm already going to wrap up because, like, to be fair, Super Chain Theory 2B is not a very complex mechanic. It's pretty basic. You just kind of go to the side and resolve the spread or pairs, whatever. So we have to go in, and then we have to go to the correct side and resolve that mechanic. We check this, we see this is resolving first, so we go here with the pairs. And then we check the north and south and see which one we have to resolve. I see there's protean south, so we're going to go south. There was also lasers there coming from the north side. And then we go to the safe tile. That's out and spread, and then we go to the safe tile. So, what can we conclude from this? Why did this tier live so much longer than heavyweights? I think it's quite obvious. This store boss is so much more difficult than the Lindwurm. It is like not even close. It is not even the same game. The Lindwurm feels like they ran out of time. Like, I'm just being honest. It feels like they ran out of time. In fact, I would go so far as to say they should have just combined the Lindwurm, the final phase, and compacted phase 2 a little bit. I am so, like, I'm going to be harsh here because I think we should be harsh here. The Lindwurm is so easy. For a final floor of a raid tier, it is a joke. Like, it is a joke. It is, I am so disappointed in that boss. That is how I truly feel. You know, I am curious though, like, let me know if you agree. Like, let me know how you guys feel about this. I think it's not even close. Maybe I'm skewed. Maybe I am the minority here, and a lot of people actually like the Lindwurm. From what I've heard, people don't like it people like it a lot more than I do. But just let me know. Like, this is the most interesting comparison to me. And again, when we go into this Palace Athena versus the Lindwurm 2 comparison, I think the Lindwurm 2 is going to win out, because I don't think Palace Athena is that good. Keep that in mind. But let me know what you guys think about Athena versus Lindwurm. I think it's not close. But yeah, look forward to the next one, because that one, I think heavyweight wins out there. I'm just saying, but we'll see how I feel then. Let me know what you think. Look forward to the next one. I hope you enjoyed. The Prog Pips video will come after this series again. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good day. Bye-bye.